How to reflect upon your Ikigai biohacking life in 2022. That's something I'd like to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Biohacking. Right. So it is December 27th today. The 2022 will be over soon. Yeah. And at the end of the year, one thing I always do is to reflect upon my life that year, and I reflect upon on everything. But today, I'd like to share with you how to reflect upon your biohacking life. You know how you did your biohacking lifestyle this year, especially from the point of view of Ikigai biohacking. Right. So usually, when you reflect and measure your progress in regular biohacking, you might kind of measure, your using some data like DNA data from the testing and so on, and see how much you improved. But we don't do that in biohacking. Well, partly because when you try to check the data too much, sometimes you are very much kind of controlled by it or sort of influenced by it, and you want to optimize your thing, but you cannot optimize every aspect of your biohacking. You can probably optimize your physical element, like you can optimize your exercise and maybe fasting and so on. But it is very difficult to cover your mental aspect and spiritual aspect and planetary aspect and so on to measure everything and to do everything, because you just don't have enough time to do all those things. Yeah. So instead, in Ikigai biohacking, we try to value the balance, yeah, or the harmony among different elements. So instead of optimizing kind of one specific area, you try to get 80% of optimal in most areas, but to value the harmony and balance. Right. Okay. So I'll show you how to do it. So in Ikigai biohacking, we have 5 elements. Yeah, 1, diet and fasting; 2, exercise; 3, mentality; 4, sustainability; 5, spirituality. So you want to look into each area, how you did. Yeah. For example, for diet and fasting, in my case, for diet, I think I did very well. I did as I planned. I included a lot of fermented foods such as natto in my diet, and I covered a lot of magoya sashi, which are fiber-rich ingredients in my diet, and things like mushrooms, for example. I try to include as variety of mushrooms as possible and so on to make it very diverse. So I think I have covered over 30 different kind of fibers each week. Yeah. And for the fasting too, I did everything I planned to do, and I even completed 68-hour fasting. And also now I'm doing 36 hours fasting once a week, and it's been working very well. So I'm very satisfied with my result of diet and fasting this year. Yeah. So something like that, you kind of reflect upon each area of your biohacking. Now, then when you do that, when you do reflection, you want to think of the following element. 1, effect. Yeah. So how effective was it? Yeah. 2, doability. Was it doable? Yeah. And then 3, social aspect, which is the relationship with other element of your life, such as your family relationships or your relationship with your coworkers, friends, and so on. Yeah. Did your fasting affect your family relationship and so on? So in my case, for example, I did 36 hours fasting, which means I have to skip several meals. Yeah. I basically miss, a kind of shared meal with my family members, but I picked Monday. And Monday is a day when my wife and my son have dinner at my son's grandparents' house. Yeah. Therefore, yeah, I'm just alone at home. So, it didn't affect other people. So it was good. Yeah. Um, Something like that. You kind of check to see. And then sustainability and spirituality. So this time, you're not looking at each area individually, but for example, exercise or fasting, yeah, how, related they are with sustainability and spirituality. For example, for the exercise, yeah, um, one sustainable exercise I do is gardening, and I did a lot of gardening this year. I grew, sweet potatoes, taros, and soybeans, and I kind of grew more vegetable this year. So I spent a lot more time in the garden, and that was good. So my exercise was sustainable enough. Yeah. And how about spiritual? Were my exercises spiritual enough? Yeah. So from the middle of this year, I incorporated a lot of zone 2 jogging. And toward the end, I did zone 2 jogging 3 times a week instead of doing Nordic walking, which was good. I think as far as the effect was concerned, it was very effective. But usually, when I go Nordic walking, I do like a Shingon Kansha meditation and some kind of a mindfulness type of thing. And so it has a lot more spiritual aspect. While during jogging, it was more difficult for me to do that. So it was less spiritual in that sense. So maybe next year, I want to incorporate more spiritual aspect in my exercises. And I'm thinking of learning some yoga exercises and qigong exercises, and maybe do more of those. Then this way, I can probably make my physical exercises more spiritual. And something like that, when you reflect upon your activity, you can check to see those 5 areas, right? And then one thing you shouldn't forget is to celebrate, okay? Sometimes you become kind of strict on yourself and saying, oh, maybe I didn't do well in this area, so I need to improve it, or maybe next year I should do this and so on. But there are a lot of areas that you did what you plan to do. Like the many areas that you were satisfied with your result, and then celebrate it, then enjoy, praise yourself, just be proud of yourself for achieving your goals and leading a healthy lifestyle. And then you just want to celebrate that fact. Yeah. You can even do ima iwai at the end of this year to celebrate the outcome of this year, right? So yeah, there are many different ways to reflect upon your biohacking life. I mean, you can just do your way, but this is one way which can be helpful for you. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Bio-Hacking. And thank you for watching this channel this year. I really appreciate it. I hope you got something out of it. And next year too, I'm going to upload one video each week. I'm going to provide plenty of useful content. Right. Okay. So I hope you'll have a wonderful 2023, and I'll see you in the new year. Live with your Ikigai!